Every year, Thailand gets millions of visitors, and it seems like about half of them leave behind their manners on the plane at 30,000 feet. In today's video, we are breaking down the most common etiquette mistakes that I see foreigners making day in and day out. We'll get into the ones that locals absolutely do care about, as well as a few that somebody might be telling you they're a big deal, but in reality, no worries. Grab your coffee, pop a squat, and let's see if you are one of those awful tourists. What is up? Welcome back to the channel and welcome back to day 6 of No Chill November. I believe I have lost count at this point. What does No Chill November mean? That means daily videos as well as weekly live streams. We will be doing a live stream tomorrow, November 7th, around 10 a.m. Bangkok time. So if you want to come hang out, maybe drop some video ideas, that would be great. But as far as today's video goes, every day when I'm out and about, I see somebody doing something that I know Thai people are just not crazy about. And me, the way that I was raised, if you're a guest in somebody's house or somebody's country, you should do the best you can to not be seen as disrespectful. Just try to be accommodating. So in today's video, I'm gonna break down a few of those things for you so you can make sure that you're not one of those guys that ends up in one of our other videos about terrible tourists and some other things that people might have said are a huge deal, but in reality, you could probably get away with it. Let's get into the video. First things first, I see this all the time, is just refusing to learn any Thai at all. Well, yes, it's totally true that in all reality, you can get by without knowing any Thai. But if you've been here for a couple years, even 6 months, and the only word you know is Chong or Singha, come on. I mean, it goes a long way, especially if you're gonna be living here, to try to build genuine relationships, to try to make friends with locals. It can be notoriously hard as a foreigner to make Thai friends. Why is that? Because, well, I think a lot of us get lumped into that category as just, oh, this dude's just here to party or is just here because living is cheap. So even just learning a little bit of Thai. Think about it when you are in your country. If you meet a foreigner that has obviously moved there from another country and they even make an effort to try to speak your language, I personally love that. I hope you too. It just shows a little bit of effort, just shows that you actually care, just shows that you're trying to assimilate, that you're trying to be part of your community. I think that is very important. Is it absolutely necessary? No. Is anybody gonna confront you about it? Probably not, but a common trend you will see with this list today is just because somebody might not be confronting you about it doesn't mean that they're not looking at you in a certain type of way. Now, this next point, I have seen a rapid increase, especially when it comes to social media videos. I've seen it out and about in person as well. When I first got to Thailand, it was actually pretty random to run into other Americans, especially over the past year or so. I think that has changed quite a bit. And for the longest time in America, it's always been that whole thing of, oh, the customer is always right. If I'm the customer, even if I'm being ridiculous and have some want that is completely out of left field, I'm here spending money, so you have to be accommodating. That is not a thing in Thailand. If you're one of those people that when you get upset, or this idea that if you're spending money, you're always right and whatever you want is the way that it needs to be, that is absolutely not a thing in Thailand. I see this all the time now. I see people that are going into places, they're getting frustrated because their order is wrong or they don't speak any Thai and they're trying to communicate something that does get messed up. And then they think being aggressive or making a stink about it or, threatening to, make a Yelp or a Google review is gonna help. Thai people are so friendly until they're not. And as soon as they feel like you're being ridiculous or you're being disrespectful, they're just gonna completely shut down and they're not gonna care. And if you are one of those people that likes to be a public nuisance when you feel like you're right or you have the right to be doing something, you're probably gonna get the police called on you and it's definitely not gonna work out. Don't be a Karen, guys. Now, you may remember we talked about one of the biggest misconceptions about Thailand in one of our recent videos, talking about this whole idea that Thailand is just one big party district. It's nothing but red light districts and girls who are interested in making transactions, if you know what I mean. Probably one of the worst etiquette mistakes we will see on this list. And if you think in that narrative, if that's what you think that Thailand is, you will fail to understand that the vast majority of Thailand, most of the people, the culture itself is still very traditional and modest. Guys, please, for the love of God, don't be that foreigner going all over the city, refusing to wear a shirt everywhere. Yes, we know it's hot, but we're all hot. We're all sweaty. It's one of those things. This is the biggest one. I see people that maybe getting some comments on a Facebook post or whatever of them going around without a shirt on, and then Thai people are leaving comments, and then their response is, oh, well, nobody said anything to me. A big thing you will learn about Thailand if you spend time here is just because you're not getting directly confronted about something does not mean that people aren't bothered by it. Things like, walking around without a shirt on. If you're out with your Thai girlfriend and you're trying to kiss and touch all in public, most people don't like that here. Personally, I think that's kind of gross everywhere, but especially when it comes to Thailand. And some people have said this is, really just the older generation, which I would say the percentage of older people that feel this way is a lot higher, but that doesn't mean there's young people that don't feel the same way. And just because nobody says something to you doesn't mean it's not bothering people. And if you're one of those people that says, oh, well, nobody says anything, so how bad could it really bother them? You need to, do some self-reflection. If you're willing to go to another country and just be blatantly disrespectful because nobody's trying to fight you on the street about it, come on, man, be better. Now, this next point is one that I have run into multiple times. Growing up in America, sarcasm, especially, or, kind of dark humor is just part of our vernacular. It's one of those things that comes up in every conversation. Even when you don't realize you're doing it, you are doing it. And when you add somewhat of a language barrier into that mix, it can be very easy for Thai people to misinterpret what you are saying. Even if you meet somebody that is technically fluent in English and you're trying to throw out all these like weird sarcasm, especially in America, we say things, but it doesn't actually mean what we're saying, and it can be taken out of context very easily. You do have to be careful with this in Thailand. You can make jokes or have kind of a dark humor or trying to be sarcastic about something, and it won't get picked up on, and you will just be taken literally for exactly what you were saying. And it's one of those things you don't realize how much honestly hot water it can get you in when you are saying things and expecting people to know what you actually mean, even though what you're saying isn't what you actually mean. Thai people, definitely the vast majority of time, stay away from, being directly negative. So if you're being sarcastic and saying something negative, even though you mean the complete opposite, you're not going to come off as witty. You're not going to come off as clever. A lot of the time, Thai people will probably just think you're a dick. Another thing that I did not notice until I left America, one thing that is much different about our culture, especially compared to Thai people's, is how touchy-feely we are as a people. Not in a weird or creepy way, but handshakes, pats on the back. If you're with your buddies, kind of giving them that little punch in the arm. Thai people are not like this at all. Now, granted, when you're in the, more touristy areas, a handshake or something probably isn't going to get you too many weird looks. But if you are trying to make Thai friends, it's a little bit weird to kind of be like throwing your arm around people or, like kind of play fighting, all that stuff, unless you have a very like genuinely good relationship with someone. If it's someone you've just met or don't know very well, it can be really uncomfortable for Thai people, just how touchy-feely a lot, especially Americans, are. So that is one thing to pay attention to. I still catch myself doing it all the time. I have a few Thai friends, and it's, one of those things, especially if we're out partying, I'm always the guy when I start catching a buzz, I'm the, oh, I love you, man. Have I told you how cool you are? It sounds cringy, but I'm for sure that guy. And, everything we're talking about today is just trying to keep things as not awkward as possible, trying not to make locals uncomfortable. So this is definitely one of those things. Tons of people will tell you, the why is customary. And while it is to an extent, most of the time, unless you're meeting an older person or somebody in a position of power, things like that, even if you look around, you don't see Thais doing it every single time they have an interaction with somebody. So it's one of those things, you're not going to get your head bitten off if you do it in the wrong place, or why etiquette is a little out of funk. It's kind of like when it comes to the language thing. As long as you're making an effort, most people will appreciate that. Granted, I'm not a saint by any means. If these videos come off preachy, I'm sorry, that's not what I'm intending. A lot of these things that we talk about are coming from me learning these things the hard way, and that especially has to do with our next point, and that is just kind of openly criticizing slash comparing everything to your home country. The thing about it is Thailand is Thailand, TIT, this is Thailand, and it's gonna be like that. Thai people, Thai organizations, Thai businesses, they have a way that they do things, and if it works, they're okay with that. In America, we have this idea that everything needs to be optimized and everything needs to run as perfect as it can. In Thailand, as long as the job gets done, they're mostly okay with that. And the best way to take the experience out of you coming to Thailand in the first place is to be constantly comparing things to home. Even if it's things that you might feel like are kind of harmless, you're kind of the guy that's like, oh, in America we do it like this, in America we do it like this, or I don't know why we don't do it like this here in Thailand. That can come off as you kind of being a pretentious douche, to be honest, comparing everything to home. And I mean, I would kind of feel the same way. If somebody came to my country and was just, this is how we do this, and this, and this, and this would be better. It kind of gets to the point where it's like, okay, dude, well, why are you here? Thai people as a whole are very proud of being Thai and very proud of their country. Does this mean they're diluted to the fact that some things could be better? Absolutely not. But if you're that type of person who's like, I don't like this should be done like this. If you're somewhat of a control freak and you want to spend some time in Thailand, I highly suggest you start reining that in as best as you can, because not only is it going to take a lot of the fun out of it for you, you're going to be stressed out constantly, you're going to be frustrated, and it's just not going to be a whole lot of fun. So if you keep these things we talked about in line, not only are you going to have a much better time in Thailand, you're going to enjoy it more, you're going to be able to experience it the way that I feel it should be experienced. You're also going to be, it's going to be easier for you to make friends. People are going to be more friendly to you. One thing that I've for sure noticed, if you approach Thai people or you're out in public and they look at you and they see you as somebody who's just some stupid farang who doesn't care about Thai culture, they're gonna act a whole lot differently. But if you're respectful, you're nice, you put in a little effort, you'll be amazed at how much of a different response you can get. Of course, if you have any common mistakes that you see, things you see foreigners doing that get under your skin or that bother Thai people, please drop them down in the comments below so we can all learn a little bit more. That is all for me today. If you made it this far, thank you so much for being here. If you have kept up with all our videos so far, No Chill November, I really appreciate it. And like we said, we will be live tomorrow, November 7th, around 10 a.m. Bangkok time. So come hang out. I will see you guys there. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day, night, whatever it may be. I will see you later.